What's up, people?
Hey, hey.
How y'all doing?
And welcome back to Shift Real Talk,
Tizzle.
where we talk about love, life, and relationships.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all. If this discussion today helps you in any way, or you just want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, okay? And we also want you to get involved in the conversation. So put your comments in. Put your comments. Just da-da-da-da-da-da. Do that. All right? Now, the last thing I want to say before we get started, please make sure that you understand this. We are on all major podcast platforms now. So you can listen to us while you're driving to work, or while you're driving home from work, or while you're just chilling on your lunch break. So don't forget, look up Shift Real Talk and go to YouTube, where you can go to @Shift Real Talk TV.
That's
and
right.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe.
We are definitely, we got another dope show, man, today. As usual. As usual, the shows be off the chain, man. And we thank God for you guys who rock with us, man.
Right.
We are here in the studio, you know what I'm saying? First of all, wait a minute. I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And I'm your girl, Lady Fred.
And I'm Zany Young.
With the high note.
Come on with the
with
high
the
note.
high note. And
Yes.
listen. Oh,
Okay,
she did
cool.
not do the run at the end.
Man,
she
listen.
did that.
So listen, y'all, today's topic is, talk to me.
Intimacy.
Intimacy?
No, baby. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said intimacy.
I think I was trying to be proper.
Yeah, we don't want you to be
Okay,
proper.
so y'all, it's intimacy beyond the bedroom. We know how to get it cracking in the bedroom as married
Intimacy beyond the
people.
bedroom.
So what happens outside of the bedroom that we consider to be intimate? Intimacy with our married partners.
Well, first of all, I wanted to let's talk about how we are taught that intimacy is the bedroom.
Okay.
We've because a lot of times, as men, when we do things or how we do them,
Right.
when it comes to relationship, there is an end goal. And the
Okay.
end goal is to wind up in the bedroom. I've seen a podcast. I seen a podcast where this young lady was talking about, she said, when you take sex out of the relationship, then you are single.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
So society today has made intimacy about what we do in the bedroom only.
But we are here today to set the record straight.
Come on here.
Let it be said that here on Shift Real Talk, we are discussing real, raw, and relevant information about intimacy, baby, because it is a real thing.
So why do we believe that, though? Why do we believe that it is only a part of the bedroom? Why do we believe that?
I think that if I can speak on it, I would say that our first encounters, unfortunately, in the world that we live in today, our first encounters are outside of the marriage bed. So because of that, I think a lot of times we train ourselves, or we're taught, or we see it on TV, in songs. We see it with our eye gates, hear it with our ear gates, and we consume information that tells us everything about the bedroom, but not much about what has to happen in marriage. That is a beautiful thing when it comes to intimacy. We just not taught.
I don't think we know what intimacy really is.
No, we
If we
don't.
want to be honest, I don't think we really understand, because we don't associate intimacy with other stuff outside of sex, out of physical activity.
True. That is so true.
Because we've made intimacy about how we need to feel.
Right.
Like how I need to be, so it becomes a level of selfishness, because I need to feel like you love me, or I need to feel like, I'm getting what I need.
Yeah.
So it becomes
feeling how I want to feel.
It becomes a need seeker, as opposed to really understanding what true intimacy
It becomes for making my flesh feel good.
Whoa.
That's what it is. My flesh is like craving to feel a certain way. And so for us, and our parents don't teach us intimacy. Yeah. Our parents don't really teach us sex. Even in the 2-parent homes, a lot of times, and this is not for everybody, but we're not taught intimacy. We're not taught those vulnerable, intimate spaces that are supposed to be That's beautiful, true. Right? We're taught by the world. We're taught by outside forces. We're taught by everything else. So basically what it is, look, my flesh, I need to feel good. Or or even if I don't feel good, I need to make him feel good so that he won't go out and make somebody else feel good. And now we have a problem, which is really not that's false. That's false. That's way outside of the parameters of truth.
You believe so?
Oh yeah.
It is way out of parameters of the truth.
Outside of it, absolutely, it's not inside.
And that shouldn't even be the metrics, right? That I have to please him so he won't go out, when self-control still comes into play, whether I please you or not. If you don't have self-control, you don't have self-control.
Right. And look, a lot of times people don't even understand, especially as women, if you just come and want to just jump on me every time, there's nothing before that, no real intimacy, which is what we're going to discuss today, then what happens is, am I really trying to, be that chick for you? I'm your wife, and every time you turn around, the only time you want to be intimate is when you want to have intercourse with me. You don't want to talk to me. You don't want those moments where I'm giving you the inner me. You just want to get into me.
Yes.
Come on. Not the inner, but the into.
Okay, not the inner, but the into. Right. I'm not a piece of meat.
But you gotta. But see the thing is, when that's the end goal, then that's how you make the person who you're trying to get your needs met from. Then that's the perspective or the perception that you put out, that they're this piece of property or this piece of meat that you really just want to be made. You want this property to make you feel the way you should already feel coming into the relationship.
How is that?
You should already feel completed. You should already feel like all your needs are met, because you have to come into the relationship meeting needs. That is the way that you get your need met. Come in meeting needs.
Right. Gotcha.
You have to come in meeting needs. So we have to really, truly understand that it is so important to understand what intimacy is.
Right.
And I don't know if it's a level of maturity. I don't know, because I wouldn't say the generations think differently, but a lot of the generations think differently, because I see, I deal with them at the barbershop every day, and these young boys coming out of high school, 18 to about 24, 25. I mean, their thing when they getting with a girl is like, they want to get with the girl, and it's like they don't really understand what relationship is. And it's like, I really feel sad for this generation that's coming up behind us, because they don't have information about even dating. They don't know what dating is. Dating is possession, Dating is I own you, or you gonna do what I say, or you can't even have friends. It's like it's a level of possession that these people take on when they come to dating, and it's like that does not create a safe space for intimacy.
Right.
When you are being possessive over the relationship, that does not create a safe space for intimacy. When you are being controlling, when you are controlling the emotions, or you controlling the feelings, that is not a safe place for intimacy.
Right.
And we have to create these safe spaces, y'all.
Right.
So what is intimacy? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
What you said? What is intimacy?
So we said what it shouldn't be, but what is it really?
It is into me. See.
Okay, talk about it.
I am willing to open up myself to give to you the safe spaces, or the most intimate secrets of myself.
Yeah.
So intimacy should include a level of physical, emotional, and spiritual transparency. It's a
Ooh,
level of transparency.
Yeah.
It is a level of me opening up myself emotionally, being transparent of how I feel or or what I've been through that made me even feel this way.
I like that transparency.
So that it's a level of transparency that I shut out. So when we don't deal with those things, man, that's why I said it becomes a level of selfishness because we close that transparency and we're not transparent at all.
And that transparency looks like conversation. It looks like a text message that say, "Hey boo, I miss you today. I've been thinking about you all day. I can't wait to see you when you get home." Or it comes in the form of like, "I'm fixing your lunch for you, and I'm gonna put a note in your lunch bag. So when you see it, you'll see me. You'll see a note from me, and you might have a little kiss on the paper." Or like when you come home from work, you give me that little moment. I know people, well, I'm just tired. I've been talking to people all day and I've been doing this all day. And when I come home, I just need my little space. You know, intimacy in that moment for some people could just be like a sacrifice. I know that you've been busy all day, but when you coming home, just, hey, babe, I missed you today. Let me have a little moment, kick my shoes off and I'll be back to you. Intimacy.
And I was going to say, Pastor Jay, you said the emotional, you said the spiritual, but, you also got to include the intellectual, right?
Come on.
Because we have to be able to talk about the things that we think about and to bounce off of each other ideas that we have. Like there should be, with this transparency, there should be a level of vulnerability. There should be a level of trust that we need to have with each other in every area, in that spiritual part, in that intellectual part, in that emotional part. We got to have that. That's beyond the physical, because honestly, if all you have is the physical and you're missing all these other parts, you really don't have intimacy. You just have sex.
You just have sex. And
you have Massey.
What is Massey?
Yeah.
Instead of intimacy, you just have Massey.
You have Massey. And it becomes messy.
You're like, you're so messy.
You got Massey. Yeah. You got Massey.
And what people don't understand is those little moments, those conversations, that thing where I bring you, it's like I bring you into my personal space where I share my heart with you. It's a place that I don't really bring a lot of people into. That's intimacy. And when you're interested in my heart, when you're interested in like the intimate inner parts of me, the conversations, what my thoughts are, instead of always acting like, oh, she talked too much, man. I can't wait to go in my little man cave or whatever. I know I'm doing a lot of, but that's how it comes out. It's like when you have those little moments with your husband as a wife, with your husband, where he shows interest in those intimate moments, that the little tidbit intimate moments you try to put out there, then guess what? When you get in that bedroom, I'm already warmed up. You pat me on my little bottom when I'm in the kitchen cooking and stuff, and I'd be like, stop, what?
Yeah.
And so what happens is at some point you worked me up. Like he care about me, and I'm finna make sure he understand I care about him too.
Or shoot, get in the kitchen with me and cook with me.
Come on.
That's sexy too. Come on, release some of my
carrots.
precious.
Yeah.
Come on.
Really?
That's intimacy.
So go outside with me when I dump the garbage.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right.
How about this? Rake the yard together.
Well, we don't have but one rake, but I'll sit there with some lemonade and wait for you.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Intimacy is different for every person, because when a man knows that his woman could get out there and hustle, that she has to, but that she can. That makes him feel more secure that if I need her, she down.
She's that chick. Of course,
that's intimacy. You're right. That's intimacy.
Right. That's it.
Think about it. I just remember conversations. If I tell you on Tuesday, on Friday I'm going out with the fellas, it's on for men, going out with the fellas, and then when Friday comes, you like, where you going? And he's like, I told you. That make you feel some kind of way, make you feel unheard. Because something simple like that, I told you. You can't even remember I'm going out with the fellas on Friday. Vice versa with the females. I'm going out with the girls on Tuesday for brunch. Where you going? I told you I was going out with the ladies.
Well, I
That
don't
make
know.
you feel heard.
Right. I
That's
don't know about
intimate.
anybody else. And it is, you're right, it's intimacy, but I don't know about anybody else. But the very first thought I had is the reason why when you finally say I'm going out with the fellas, and I'm like, what? Probably the reason why I forgot that is because you paid me no attention all week, and all of a sudden you remember to go out with the fellas. Show me some
Uh-oh.
intimacy, baby,
She
throughout
going
Right.
the
deep into
week.
this
But
thing.
but even before then, because that's true. But even before then, why not establish a friendship in the relationship where she now becomes the fellas, or he becomes the night out with the girls.
Right.
And when you establish that level of intimacy,
Right.
when you's able for you, or when it's time for you to hang out with the fellas, you may even
It's no
realize, like, you
problem.
know what, I don't even need to be around the fellas, because I've created a level of intimacy and a level of friendship with the one that I'm with, that I don't even need that company. But if you
Okay,
still
Pastor
establish
J.
that, hold on, if you establish that though, there would not be an issue of now when you're ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, because some men need that time.
Yes.
I don't need it. Some men do.
And
some
some
men need
women
that.
need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some women
Just
need that
want it.
time. But again, if you establish, I promise you, because I've been there. I was hanging out with the fellas. I hung out with my cousins who are fellas, and when we hung out, it was hanging out.
Right.
But again, it was like, dang, when I realized that a lot of things that I did with the fellas that I could do with my wife, like I watched football with her. You know what I'm saying? The things that fellas would do. And to be honest with you, I have more fun with that, because now I'm in a point of not just being intimate with her, but now I'm being emotionally connected with her, intellectually connected with her, and socially connected. And it's like it just brings the intimacy so much to another level.
Right.
Which goes to what we're saying. Now, should the intimacy evolve with the relationship?
I was just about to.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was about to bring your point around that little bush right there, because I remember when we first got married, we were like that. Like, well, at first it was like a sandwich. He was out and about, friends,
I was out and about.
because that's what he was used to. And when we got married, and our friendship became more of like, we had to realize, dog, I have fun with this dude. Like, and he was like, man, babe, I have fun with you. So I did become like the fellas. I'm not gonna even lie. He took me to a bachelor party, y'all. I mean, I was like, I don't want to go, but I said it in my head. I didn't say it out loud. I was like, dang, I don't want to go. But he was like, babe, come on. And we had a whole lot of fun together. And then I think at one point we got kind of comfortable. We got comfortable in just that place, and our intimacy started to kind of like fall off, right? And I think that when we talk about should the intimacy evolve with the relationship, it should. It should evolve. It's like for some people we have it backwards, where after we together for so long, it's like, dang, I'm with the same person. Man, I'm tired of this. I want to mix it up a little bit and all that stuff. But if you realize that every stage of your life, you're new. So I have to learn you over again. I have to learn your little habits. I have to learn that you're doing this now. And so the intimacy may not look like it did at first, but it looks different. So that
Right.
gives me like another little like vantage point, like, and a little bit of excitement, because this guy has grown. Like he said one podcast, he said, I'm not even the same dude. I don't even know that dude no more. And he's right. A lot of the stuff that he was, he's not anymore. So I have to learn that person, and that gives me like a whole new like level of figuring out how to be intimate with this new guy. So, I mean, I believe it should evolve. It should grow, definitely.
And talking about evolution of intimacy, like I'm gonna use your example, Pastor J. In the beginning, you feel like, oh, I need a break. I need to go hang out with my girl. I need to go hang out with my fellas. But through the evolution of it, you want to, which is different, because your want is not often, right? You want to go hang out with the ladies, and you realize when you with the ladies, I miss my boo. So
Wait,
when you
you
get
said he
home,
want
the
to go hang out
intimacy.
with the ladies?
No. I'm talking about as a woman.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I go hang out
Gotcha.
with the ladies. While I'm with the ladies, I miss my boo. And
Right.
all of us are like talking about our man because we all
Yeah.
miss them as the evolution. Just like me, Lady Free, and Ashley Barbie. That's what we.
Right.
It's funny, but that's what we do.
Mm.
We talk about our boo things, and then the intimacy for y'all, for our husbands, grow even more. That when we get home, boy, we can't wait. We're like, all right, ladies, it's time to wrap this up.
Like, okay, girl,
We
he
enjoyed
here.
you.
See you later.
Next time,
Right.
right. But that's the
Yeah.
evolution of it. Because before it's like, I need this break. But then as the intimacy between you and your spouse grows, it becomes, all right, this was a good little breather for not for him not to be away, but for me to develop as the person I am to
Right.
feed off. And you do grow with your spouse. I'm not taking away that. But
Yeah.
it's just another element of it. Like as a woman talking to a woman,
Yeah.
that you grow from another woman,
Yeah.
where
And it
you only see one track if you stay in one
right.
space.
Right.
So
And
that's
that's
all
definitely
it should evolve.
I love how you brought up me, you, and Ashley Barbie, because that is how we do. And the thing about that is when you have the right people in your community, in your village, that can bring that positivity to it and help you understand, even in the moments where things may not be as good in the relationship, and they can help you through it to the point where you can understand, hey, let me do this. Let me try this. Girl, you need to do this. Try this when he get home. Things like
Mhm.
that helps it grow as well, because sometimes those good friends, those healthy friends can be on the outside. They can see into a situation that you in because you have an intimate relationship with them too, because they see the personal parts of you as
Yeah.
homegirls, as chicks, you know?
And two, in the evolution, in the evolution, it's the revolution of the evolution, because
Okay.
we are in evolution. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You grow. The more you grow in the relationship, is the more you're able to open up. The more you learn how to communicate. The more you learn how to meet needs. The more you know how to get needs met. The more you know how to communicate what you need. You know what I'm saying? The more you know how to problem solve. The more everything is to remember. This type of relationship is the foundation of life. So when you are able to master the evolution of the intimacy, then what you're doing is you're learning how to deal with life.
Yeah.
You're learning how to deal with life problems. So what you learn in the relationship, now you can take that to give it to the community. Now you can take that to give it to people who are trying to get to the point of evolution. So you teach them, hey, this is what intimacy is. Hey,
Yeah.
this is how you learn to converse with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So again, like I said, even though I believe your parents, and we know this is a proven fact, that the first relationship that that you learn from is your parents.
Yeah.
But I believe the relationship where you evolve from is the relationship that you are in personally.
Right.
Because now you're on the job training. Now you are
And
learning to
that's
get
exactly
that.
what it is.
And that's what you have to do, because now you've taken what you've learned and what you saw to now go into a relationship of your own to learn to evolve. So it's important it's not only a necessity, but it's important to evolve so that you can now teach that and be the model for the kids behind you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a trickle effect. You know what I'm saying? So,
And I think a lot of times where we go wrong is we try to keep that person where they were. We try to keep that person in the place, or
absolutely.
or either we try to keep them in the place they were while they're growing. Like, I'm a caterpillar. I've been in the cocoon and now I came out like a butterfly. You trying to keep me crawling on the ground. It's like I'm not there anymore, you know? So, or either that or, excuse me, you have created a false imaginary expectation filled person that you think they should be by now. And you push that onto them to try to make them that, instead of really taking the time to open your eyes to see who they are. You might see some goody. You might
And
just
to
see some goody.
piggyback off of that, a lot of times our fears, our
Yeah.
past experiences,
Yeah.
and our habits can block all of that. It will block the evolution of the intimacy growing in our relationship. And we'll stay stagnant because of fear,
Yeah.
because of either habits that we created that we don't want to change, because this is who I am.
That's it.
Okay? Or
Yeah.
even past experiences. I've been here before and I already see it coming. And the
Mhm.
person's intentions could be totally different, even if it looks similar. A
Right.
lot of times we look at something that looks similar and we already prejudge it because we've been through it.
Right.
So we have to be
Yeah.
careful with that as well.
And I feel like another thing too with the evolution of intimacy is as we get older, our bodies change. The temperatures change. Our what do you call it? What do you call it?
Call what?
Those things
Our what?
you got
Chemical
you,
imbalances.
You know,
not chemicals, but how can I not think?
hormones?
Hormones, thank you. Our hormones
Okay.
go into a whole nother space and everything. And so there's a lot that we deal with. Women are not the only ones that go through menopause. I think men go through
Oh,
womenopause.
they go through changes.
I think
They
they
go
go
through
through that thing
changes.
too,
Well,
right?
well.
Yeah, the
Scientific studies.
testosterone
Yeah,
levels
scientific
change.
studies show that your testosterone and your estrogen changes, and that, with certain foods that we eat, certain sugars that we should not.
Right.
That's a whole
Yeah.
nother
So
podcast to kind of deal with. Yeah, but outside of the estrogen and the estrogen and the menopause and the womenopause, outside of that, we have to learn the fundamentals of what intimacy is and what it causes because what it causes for a relationship. Because here's the thing: if you are intentional about fulfilling a need, then it could be just a touch that
ooh,
makes
baby.
it could be
Oh,
just
he
a touch.
touched me.
Yeah, it could just be a
He
touch that
touched
you do.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could be just a
yeah.
touch, and the touch with the intention of not getting anything after the touch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be
Yeah.
something as far as like a little conversation that can, like, oh wow, you really interested in how I feel, or you know what I'm saying,
Right.
just a level. And even this too, we teach on this a lot. Being able to not hold on to issues, because those issues that we don't deal with, that we run away from,
Yeah.
it diminishes intimacy. And these are things that are thrown
Mhm.
as monkey wrenches for us to not be intimate.
Stunt the growth
Yeah, to
of it.
stunt the growth of it. So
Yeah.
we're not careful. So this is why something as simple as forgiveness, you know what I'm saying, quick forgiveness.
Right.
Quick,
Yeah.
I call them QFs, quickly forgiving.
Yes.
Quickly forgiving and solving these problems so that you can get back to intimacy.
Back to,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So that's important.
I remember, if we can be frank, if I can be transparent, I remember whenever I would have my monthly, I'm just being
You
honest,
said month with a F, monthly.
monthly, yeah.
Monthly.
And I used to try to, like, touch on my husband and do little stuff. He'd be like, babe, stop. Don't get me riled up. And it was like, dude, just because this is the issue right now don't mean that I don't still want to feel close to you. So what? Now
Yeah.
I can't be close to you because you can't get none? It's like, no, I need you to constantly, let's figure out ways so that there can still be a connection, because that's what intimacy does. It brings a level of connection. And if I can't touch you or be up under you or spoon you or scoop you or whatever while that time is on, then
Listen,
I can't get
listen, y'all. This is marriage class 2. I'm already working on it, but this is the level of problem solving as well. Problem solving 2. It is going into a level of communicating your needs. Because at the end of the day, in the relationship, in the marriage, we have to meet the needs of our mates.
right
We have to meet the needs, but we also have to be intentional on communicating the needs.
all year round.
All
month long.
I need to feel you, or I need to,
Right.
like,
And
not feel. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry. Because I wanted to go back a little bit to when you said about forgiving quickly. That was
Yeah.
so good, because I wanted to add to that and say
Yeah.
not only forgiving quickly, but don't even like count the offenses, because a lot of times we hold on and we count.
Exactly.
I told you that last month and you still did it. I told you
Right.
that 3 times already and you still
That's
doing
right.
it again. I told you you're not listening.
Yeah.
And you could totally miss what's happening, because it
Right.
could be a
Totally
simple misunderstanding.
Absolutely.
So you could tell me that sky is blue. I perceive that sky is light blue. Somebody else perceived it's dark blue. That doesn't mean that neither one of us is listening. How we receive the information is how we perceived it.
That's
Right.
Right?
That's right.
We received it and then we perceived it. And so then we acted on what we received and perceived, right?
Yeah.
And now you mad at me because I didn't get it the way that you wanted me to understand it.
Right.
I got it based on my thinking.
Yeah.
So then now we count no offenses, because I done told you over and over.
And you still
So
ain't
we
get
have
it.
to not hold, right. So we got to stop counting them and holding on to how many times, because even in that, we think we forgave and I moved on. Now you didn't forgive because you still holding on, counting.
Right.
You got
And
to
then
truly let it go.
That's right.
And when you don't truly let it go, what happens at that point is you keep me hostage to the place, especially if you have God in your life, you're holding me hostage to a place God has already dealt with me in. So now I'm not that person anymore, and I may not be perfect in that area, but I'm working on it. And if you open your eyes good enough, get them shackles off your eyes and the
Get
blurred
shackles
vision
off
and
my
all that.
feet, though, I can tell you.
We got
Yeah.
songs tonight.
Right. So when you finally can like through forgiveness see,
Right.
you'll see that I'm not even in that place anymore. And yes, I may have messed up again, and it kind of looks like that. But this time, did you notice I caught it first? Or this time, did you know I had a little bit remorse when I did it? Or this time,
That's
did you
good.
notice, so if you don't if you don't live through those moments of not leaving me where you last had me, and allow me to grow and evolve, then guess what's going to grow and evolve with me? My intimacy. Because now it's all about the fact that I realize and I notice that you saw the small victories. And you're
And
not
cheer me
holding.
on
Yes, cheer me
for them
on.
small victories.
Yeah. And this how that looks.
Yeah.
Okay, boo, I see you. Okay, I see you, boo.
Okay,
That's how I do.
That's
I be like, I
interesting.
see you, boy.
So does it become dangerous when intimacy is reduced to the small mind frame? I'll say it's a
Very.
small mind frame of just physicality.
Just a physical act. Yep.
Is that dangerous?
Very. Because
It is.
dating, that should be the moment where you're learning intimacy, because that's the intimacy is those conversations, those late night phone calls that you're talking on the phone and it's like, oh my God, you hang up. No, you hang up. That's a form of intimacy. You're learning this person. Instead of making it a possession, make it a moment where you're learning things about this person and you're hearing them and understanding where you at with it in the heart. As you evolve in the relationship, then all of a sudden, guess what you have? Now you have trained yourself to understand and become friends with this person, love this person, grow with this person, and that's the training post. When you get married, especially at a younger age, now you're putting all of those trainings to practice. Right? So you're practicing all of these. That's wisdom. You're putting all that wisdom together and applying it. And as you continue to get older, then you'll realize, okay, when my stuff not working as good as it used to and your stuff not working as good as it used to, we still know how to connect and be together if we just make it a physical act only.
Well, here's the thing.
What?
And I get you. I hear you. Nothing.
My period wasn't
I'm sorry.
important today.
No, your period is very important, but I want to step back a little bit, because what happens is that sex becomes the foundation, because this is what we built the relationship on. So when it comes to solving problems, we go to sex, we go to physicality.
That's true.
When it comes to communicating, we go to physicality. When it comes to not communicating, it goes to physicality.
Makeup sex.
Makeup.
After the argument.
It ain't even makeup.
Physicality.
It's just, okay, let's do this instead of making up, because we don't even do the work. We go straight to the act.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of problems come in, is if we take it to just the act.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this, because y'all are women, and y'all, because you guys receive the intimacy, how does it feel when that's how you, when the man makes you feel like, if I don't do this, then we won't be able to talk or solve this problem, or if something happens, the first thing or if he don't get it, if I don't give it to him,
Like a hooker.
he runs away with an attitude, because what I'm saying, and we
Like
got
a hooker.
issues right now, but he want to have sex, and I can't give myself, because how does that make y'all feel? Because we never deal with that. Like, I want to know, how does that make y'all feel?
Like a
It
piece
makes
of
me feel
meat.
cheap.
Yeah.
It makes me feel cheap. Like you would do somebody on the street. You would pay them. At least they get paid, right? You
Wow.
would pay them for the moment,
Right.
and
For
then you
that
would leave.
moment.
But for me, I lay down. You have your way, and I don't hear from you again until you're ready for some more. And then you come buttering up to me like, I love you, girl. And all it really is about is for you to get fulfillment. So
And
I feel
buttering up
cheap
is not intimacy, guys.
Yeah.
at all.
Buttering up is not intimacy. Yeah, it makes you feel cheap. It makes you feel like a piece of meat. And it was not meant for a woman, especially if you're a man that loves this woman. It was never meant for her to feel less than the piece of resistance. Because y'all got to understand, when God finished everything else and said it was good, he said it's not good for man to be alone. Then he took the brush of his stroke and said, oh, that last little piece right there, that's all I needed. And then she was born. She was created. That was a woman. So we should never be treated less than the piece of resistance on that fine work of art that God created when he created the woman.
So
But
last
then look
week,
at
look at
damage too,
The
Pastor
what?
J. The emotional damage it does. So a lot of women don't speak on it outside of them saying, "Oh, you making me feel cheap," or like a thrill or
Right.
whatever. But they don't speak at the hurt that starts happening, and now you start tearing down their self confidence. They start questioning
ooh,
themselves. Am I
it causes so
stupid?
much other stuff. Wow.
It does. It causes deeper issues. A lot of times, for women who that's all they want, you're actually affirming their own beliefs of who they are, because they
Mm.
already are torn down and already broken. You coming and doing that is acceptable because that's all I think that I deserve anyway.
Or,
So you're
go
just
ahead.
affirming what I'm saying.
I
But this what you go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna finish my point. Go
I
ahead.
think it's a little delay. I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. I want you to get to the period. Your period is important.
I was gonna say, in a relationship, even though it's built on the physical attraction or the physical touch, here is the thing about that. If you're lacking emotional, excuse me, the emotional, as you call it, transparency, it then leads to a lack of communication of my needs. So now I can't even trust you to tell you my heart's desire.
Wow.
Eventually, it's going to lead to a lack of physical attraction as well.
Yeah.
So you building it on the physical touch, but in the end, you're not going to even have that because you're going to be desiring or getting it somewhere else, fulfillment,
Yeah.
and
So
it's
what
going to lead
about
you
those?
away from your
What?
spouse.
Hold on 1 second. And the
Baby
thing,
free wanted to.
another thing too is you start to accept the fact that this is what it is, and this is just how men are. This is just what men are like.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna accept the fact that men, this their nature. I've heard that it's just in a man's nature
Right.
to it's the animalistic nature in us and stuff. But the thing that people don't understand is before the fall, before sin entered the world, there was no animalistic nature. There was no carnivores. Everybody was eating the herbs and stuff. When sin came, things shifted. Okay. So the nature, God says he gave us his nature. And I like that. I want his nature. Because at the end of the day, it's very, very dangerous to only think of intimacy in the form of a sexual act, because it causes
Right.
all kind of insecurities. It causes your foundation to be shaken, because what if
Yeah.
it's a night that you're really not feeling it? Will he understand the fact and be there with you and try to figure out, okay, what's wrong with you? What's going on with you? I'm here with you tonight. I'm here for you. If it's only a physical act, he's just, or she's just only going to want what they want, and that's just that.
What about
Right.
those women Because there are women out there who really have low self-esteem about themselves, where they feel that the only way that I can get his attention, or the only way that I can even get him to see me, is to give themselves. There are women out there that believe that. So because there are women out there that believe that, this has become the narrative to a lot of women. So when he runs into a woman that really has something about herself, and she'll do it for a certain extent, but really start feeling. But to be honest with you, I kind of feel, because that as a woman, no matter what, even though you may still feel this way, like, that you're not, some women feel like they're not worthy enough, but I just feel as a woman, somewhere down the line, you're going to feel, that feeling is going to come where it's like, dang, that's all he think about me. But there are women out here that don't think that.
Poppy, okay. So I think in pictures, and when you say stuff, my mind be on the trip with you. You just flip the script.
No, because I said,
help me.
No, because I'm thinking that because she's a woman,
right?
She has to feel like somewhere down the line that this is gonna bother me, that he only looks at me in my low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I said there are some women out there.
And she does.
Yeah. So somewhere down the line, like, she, after consistently doing it, it's like, hold on, wait a minute.
You think it starts there?
Not after consistent.
No.
It doesn't start there.
Lady Free, you about to say it. It started way before that, the consistent.
It
started
starts
at the beginning.
way before that. It starts,
Explain.
you know what? It can very well easily be something as simple as your daddy's little girl, but then when you start becoming like a little teenager and get your little body parts shaping and stuff, and he don't know how to really deal with that, he'll no longer, it'll almost feel like you're getting pushed away because you're growing into your little teenage body. You know what I'm saying? Where you would normally be able to sit on his lap and hug on him and play and all that stuff. Now all of a sudden he pushes you away, not trying to push you away out of get away from me, but just his own feeling of, oh snap, I don't know really how to handle her at this stage, and she starts to feel a little neglected or something, and then her self-worth is like, it could be something as simple as that. It's chipped away at just a little bit. It could be that, or it could be she was taken advantage of by an uncle, or today an aunt, or friends at school, or whatever the case. And that, so it starts way before the relationship you're currently in.
Way before. And I'll use myself as an example, because I've told this testimony before. I was taken advantage of as a child by more than one cousin. And not only that, I had grown men saying, as a child, I'm a child. I had grown men saying, you'll be good in bed.
Yeah.
So as a child, you don't know how to resolve those emotions that you feel. They just make you feel so nasty. And you question yourself, what about me? Because I promise you, I dress like a tomboy. But I question myself, what about me is making them feel that way about me? It was so, it put confusion in my mind, because I did not understand why they keep coming at me, right? So that actually turned me like away from that whole thing. Like, it just turned me off. Like, I felt like I gotta have control, right? That's where my sense of having to have control come from, because I feel like I had to have control. But when I meet other women that's gone through what I've gone through, each one have a different story. You have some that's very promiscuous because of that very reason.
Yeah.
You don't know how to actually resolve the emotions that's going on inside you. So you look for a way to make sense out of it. And sometimes it come out like that. I think the bigger question is not how the woman feels, it's how the man feels that he could take advantage of the vulnerability that he identified in this woman.
Wow.
Right?
That's a good question.
What's going on in him that he would take advantage of the vulnerability that you can't tell me that he didn't see it. He saw the vulnerability. He took advantage of it. So what does that say about him? Instead of building this woman up, he aided in the tearing down of her.
Yeah. And then you wonder why there is no connection after the physical intimacy.
Right.
Why the relationship breaks up, because you didn't establish the foundation of what intimacy was really supposed to be.
Right.
and it was supposed to be the connection before the sex.
It was,
You know,
yeah.
I wonder how many. I wonder. This is a true statement. I wonder how many relationships would last if there was no sex.
Wow.
Mm.
Put it in a chat. Would your relationship
Yeah.
last if there was no sex?
I wonder how many relationships would last if there was no sex.
Right. Right. Let's
That's a
say
good
you
question.
married the man of your dreams.
Yeah.
And everything is looking good. And then all of a sudden, a year in, he gets into a car accident. And then all of a sudden, guess what? There is no more activity there. Will you stay with this man till death do you part? Knowing that that is not, it's no longer an option unless God say so. Would you stay or would you go? Those
would you go?
bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
If
Would
that
you
was
stay?
taken out of, I'm telling you, I hear it's trending on all social media platforms. If there is no sex, then there is no relationship.
That's ignorance. That's ignorance. We just got to call a spade a spade. That's ignorance.
If there is no sex, then there is no relationship.
Because relationship is relating on all levels. It's not just sexual relations.
Because here's the thing too, and that's true. Because you can be in love with somebody who's really not that good in
That department.
that department. But if you have a emotional, spiritual, intellectual connection to the highest level, he can go 2 minutes and you'll still be satisfied.
well, no,
Yeah.
we won't be satisfied.
No, but you'll be
But
okay.
we'll
You'll
we'll
deal with
live.
that.
We'll live.
You'll deal with
We'll
that.
stay.
No, okay, so let me ask you this question. Would you
He
stay?
said we'll be okay. No,
Would-
no,
okay,
no.
so-
Correction,
So,
sir.
all right, so here's the question. Here's the question. Would you be more satisfied with somebody who gives an hour of pleasure, but you have that's all you have is a physical connection, as opposed to somebody who gives you everything else and only gives 2 to 5 minutes?
Pastor Jay, let me answer that.
Please.
If
'cause
I'm
I
with
don't
somebody
want
who gives me, if I'm with somebody who gives me everything else, trust me, I have enough transparency that I can tell him I am not satisfied, and he can find ways, or we can find ways to make that 2 minutes 30 minutes, even if he cannot last 2 minutes, because that's
That's
the
good.
point of intimacy.
that's
We can
it.
talk
That's what
about
I'm
all
saying.
things
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not be offended.
Right.
Absolutely.
They have stuff called tantric stuff now, where a touch right above the skin. You know, no actual. Honey, let me stop. But listen, my answer to that question is it depends on the day. I'm joking.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm joking.
no.
But I like what you
Crazy.
said though. I like what you said though, because that we do that. Women, we were created to be like our father, creative. He's the creator, the ultimate. So we can create a good 30 minutes session out of that little 2 to 3 minutes. If I love you, yeah, I got you, boo.
2
This
to
is
3
what I
minutes?
need. This is what I need you to do. I'm not satisfied, but I love you.
But is that satisfaction?
Guaranteed. Yes, sir.
Is
That
that
is.
satisfaction?
What do you mean?
I'm saying,
It
I
is.
mean, the long 30, 40 minute, I mean, is that truly satisfaction?
Yes, because-
if if that's all you have, is that true satisfaction?
What do you mean if that's all you have?
If you can't talk to it, like,
Oh, no. It's not.
No,
That's what
it's
she was
different.
saying. If you get that little 2 to 3 minutes and you have the other aspects of intimacy, then you can make that little 2 to 3 minutes into a good little 30, 31 and a half.
because here's the thing, like, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Society has made sex a creative way to now make people feel like you have to measure up to being this mandingo or this
Right.
or this 13-inch power driver, or and if you're this person, then all of that other stuff you don't even you know, that you ain't have to worry about all of that other stuff as long as you getting, you know,
But
saying
let me talk for the women who are actual real. Okay? I have heard so many women talk about that it wasn't, you know, and we still made it work. You know, it has happened like that. Society can say what they want to say, but if you did a real poll with real women and they was willing to tell the truth, God did not create that many of those. He created some, but everybody not hanging out like that.
And
Did I clean that up
don't
good?
even like that. Every female don't even like that. But on top of that, let me say this: we got to be real, right? In a relationship, if we want longevity in that relationship, then we also understand that our man gonna have a time in his life where he's not gonna be able to get it up, right?
Right. That's
So
true.
when sex is all we have. When he go through his most, because let's be honest, that messes with a man pride.
That's
So
that
when he
time we be
goes through
trying to
a
get that
moment,
red sports car.
when his pride is messed up, you telling me you gonna leave him like that after all y'all done been through because sexually he can't please you? Or better yet, some women do step out, and that's the sad part of it, because all you had was the sex, that I can't even depend on you in my moment of weakness. Because guess what? They got medications that'll help that now.
Not if you have heart problems.
Again, that's true. But guess what? They got natural herbs. Also, they got food if you take care of your health. Like, there's ways to work around things. If you love a person, you'll do the research and you'll do the work. But the problem is, if you focus on the physical, that's it.
If that's all you have, danger.
Okay, let me say this, y'all, because you know I gotta bring it on home. It's important that we realize how sex is a tool, not only today but even back in the days of when they were judges. How even in the church of Corinth, how sex was used to worship. It was almost like it polluted the children of God. It polluted them. You know, it made them really influenced about even turning away from God to worship a whole nother God. So I believe just like that, it is the trick to make us to now start to go into a relationship fulfilling something that God didn't tell us to do when it came to sex, because he created it for a certain reason and a certain purpose for it. So I know last week I was talking about, I said, ain't nowhere in the Bible, but I quoted it wrong. That it is for our enjoyment. When he was talking about having sex for your enjoyment.
Right.
And I was like, there's nowhere in the Bible where it said that. And I could be wrong. But what I was saying was the enjoyment part was actually put in so that we can continuously, because he wanted us to feel the earth.
Yeah.
So it was for you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you had to enjoy it, because what we do when we enjoy something, it becomes like a habit because we have to get that fulfillment. So the thing is, you know, we have to be careful because
be fruitful and multiply.
Exactly. So we have to be careful how we allow it to be our driving force to how we leaving God out of the situations that, even in relationships, he said, in all of our ways acknowledge him and he will direct our path. So we have to be very intentional of not being influenced by sex, because even though it's something that God created for us to enjoy, but it's also the very thing that got the children of Israel off it got them off course. You know what I'm saying?
Because we were discussing this earlier, and when you said that, it's like one reason why they kept going in that cycle of
sin.
They cry out to God, God saved them, and then next thing you know, they doing good for a while because there's peace in the land. Then they fall back into sin, and then they do whatever they want to do, whatever seems right to man, and then they get into captivity or bondage or some kind of desolation. Then they cry out to God, and then God says, okay, and it was a cycle over and over. And when you told me one of the reasons why they was having such a hard time staying focused and keeping keeping their eyes on God is because sex was being used. There was a sex god that they used. That now here we are, purity. We know that this is what the Lord has said that we shouldn't do. But then you look over here and you see people worshiping the sex god and doing all kind of things that entices the flesh. And of course, it's going to be difficult for you if that's what you're around to constantly be right with God when this is what you see. And hey, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
because
what do you
they
choose?
lacked intimacy. They lacked intimacy with God, and they depended on the intimacy
on,
Moses had
sis.
with God.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So
And
they looked outward instead of upward.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's the most important
Exactly.
thing
Exactly.
when it comes down to intimacy. Since we've talked about all the other aspects of intimacy, the very first thing that teaches us what real intimacy look like so you won't fall for the fool's gold is that intimate relationship you have with God. That is so important because so many people have made it taboo or made it, oh my God, you just too spiritual. Oh, she's a God freak and all that stuff. But no, I'm going with what works. I've tried everything else.
Yeah.
It did not give me
don't work.
fulfillment. It did not give me satisfaction. As a matter of fact, it made the hole in my soul seem even bigger. Why? Because when you're intimate with a man or woman, what happens is you create a soul tie. And that person takes a little piece of you every single time. So yes, it's a hole in your soul that's getting bigger and bigger, and there is no one or nothing that can fill that hole but God. He says, I'm the only one. So that's the most important intimate relationship you should have. When you could just lay on your bed and just talk to him, just chop it up and not need something and want something and be crying out to him because you messed up something and you need him to fix it. Just that intimate space.
So will we say that sex is spiritual?
It is spiritual. That's why if you having
Yeah,
sex
you were
outside
right.
of marriage, it's a form of worship. Now, if you have sex outside of marriage, you're still having a form of worship, but who are you worshiping to?
It is spiritual.
It's spiritual.
We gotta be careful of who we connect with
Yeah.
and why we connecting.
Absolutely.
Because it all has to be right. It has to be
It
right.
has to be.
Because if not, we'll find ourselves worshiping this spiritual act in a demonic way that will lead us not in the pathway of righteousness, but it lead us straight to the pits of the fiery furnace.
We're gonna have to do a part 2, y'all, on this because that's good. That's a whole topic by itself. Because we
Yeah.
can talk about the blood covenant that you're making and why you acting crazy. You don't know why
Yeah.
you acting crazy, but you don't realize you just connected to a person.
That's
And
right.
you don't realize that
yeah,
you had
we-
sex with somebody and that person became your husband.
So we
Don't
could
you
we
start
could
nothing. Don't
Next-
y'all start
next
it.
week.
That person
we can
became
have
your
that
husband,
part
simple and
2.
plain. Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah, we got to. But listen, y'all, man, listen. Y'all are the ball, man. Y'all, y'all take a man. These women here. Well, not just me too. You know what I'm saying? Gonna just
Yeah,
put
you
it
too,
on there,
boo.
yeah. But I like how we take a topic, man, and just kind of delve into it and break it down. I kind of like slow down because I normally get excited.
Yeah.
But I love it, man, because again, I've learned some stuff from y'all today too, man. Like it's like
Amen.
to really understand how women feel.
Yeah.
When you guys are put in the position. Because one thing as men, that's one thing we don't do. We don't really see how it affects women. Because at some point in some time, that we're very selfish when it comes to. We don't think about how it affects y'all or how it hurts y'all
Yeah.
or what y'all feel, you know what I'm saying, when we bringing stuff to y'all. And so it's like, man, for y'all to tell me like, yo, it makes
Yeah.
me feel less than this. Like, I feel like a piece of, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, just make sure the only thing we ask you to do is pay it forward.
Whoa.
And what we're asking you as those who are watching, pay it forward. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to hear more messages like this and even better messages, if you want certain things to be spoke about, real raw conversation about love, life, and relationships, drop it in the comments. We want to know, what do you want to talk about? What do you want real talk to sit down and just really dissect and just do that thing and make it pop? You put it in the comments because this is for you. Don't forget to share this comment and make sure you like. Don't forget because we need this to go all around the world and back. Okay?
It is. But listen, y'all, man, that's our time. I'm your boy, Pastor J.
I'm your girl, Lady Free.
And I'm Zany Yo.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.